Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Live Authentically with Krista. Thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to give you all an update on my foot. So it's been a couple weeks since I've made a video, but I figured I'd just update you, just to see where I'm at, just tell you where I'm at. So if you are new, if you stumble upon this channel, hey, I'm just sharing life authentically. Life's challenges, things that I learn. And if you do find value, feel free to stick around, like the video, comment below, subscribe if you want to stay connected. And if you're a returning subscriber, hit that button, hit the like button so that more people can see videos like this. So anyways, October 1st was when I broke my foot. I fractured my fifth metatarsal, okay? And it took 2 weeks for me to find out. Like, it took me 2 weeks to realize that it was actually broken and it wasn't sprained. So now, update, I'm still wearing the boot. I don't use the scooter hardly at all. And the only way that I've been using it is if I get up in the middle of the night with my puppy, which rarely happens, then I'll walk downstairs kind of like on my heel without the boot. I don't know. That's just my laziness if it's in the middle of the night. And then I would just kind of use my scooter to the door and then just kind of allow her to do her potty thing, and then I'd just go back to bed. I was wearing my boot in bed for probably the good 3 weeks. And it was annoying. It was disgusting as well. You know, so then I found myself like sanitizing the bottom of my boot because I don't want to wear that to bed, you know, after I've been walking around outside. So after I did my appointment, after I had my doctor's appointment, and I was asking her, I'm like, do I have to wear this thing to bed? You know, I talked to the podiatrist, and she's like, no, I don't see any swelling. You don't need to wear the boot in bed. So I'm like, yes. So I went home, I washed my bedding, and so I haven't been sleeping with the boot on, which makes sleeping so much easier. I'm a whole lot more comfortable in bed at night. So now I've noticed, I've been really just kind of like paying attention to just like how I'm feeling, and I've been trying to just like support my body with supplements as well to help with the inflammation, and just with to help support my body with the healing, to kind of reduce the healing time. So I've been doing that. That's something that I started doing probably more intentional over the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of a change as well. But yesterday, I took my boot off because I was kind of tired of walking around with it outside. And I've been like watching, I just don't want to like track anything in. So I've been like taking my boot off, sanitizing the bottom of my boot because I don't want to be walking all over my carpet with stuff on, right? I just am not the type of person that likes, I don't like when people wear shoes on my carpet, right? I want to actually remove my carpet is what I want to do. I want to remove my carpet and like have like wooden floors or like something different with maybe like an area rug. So it's like more manageable. I feel like it would be so much more cleaner. I'm just not a big fan of carpet in my living room right now. I'm not. But anyways, I wore my like chore shoes outside to go and check on the chickens because I just had it in my heart in the morning yesterday that I was going to find a dead chicken in my coop. And sure enough, I was right. There was a dead chicken at my coop. So that was interesting. That was interesting. And I kind of forgot about it yesterday. Hey, girls. I kind of forgot about it yesterday because my son has been doing my chicken chores for me because of my foot, you know. And hey, come over here. So my son's been doing my chicken chores for me. You know, he'll, like on his lunch breaks, or, you know, he'll make sure that there's plenty of water in there and like they've got enough food and stuff. And so I've been very, very thankful that my kiddos, you know, when they're home, they do the chicken chores for me so that I don't have to. So I've been very, very grateful for that. But anyway, so that's why I didn't go out and check in the morning yesterday. I'm like, well, I'm sure it's, I don't know. I just kind of forgot about it. And then I just had it in my mind like, okay, no, I got to go check it out. I feel like I got to go check it out. And sure enough, the chicken was dead. And then their water was empty. So I had to get the water done. You know, I don't know. They must have dumped it or something. So I'm glad that I went out there to check out. Just to check on them and to see if it was true, if there was a dead chicken. And sure enough, it was true. So anyways, I just noticed myself when I was wearing my shoes. I noticed that it wasn't hurting. It wasn't really hurting that much at all. Like I still feel like it's not 100% healed, but I feel like it's almost there. And to the point, like, it was okay for me to wear the shoes. But now, you know, I've done that a couple of times where I just like took my boot off so that I could just wear my regular shoes outside because I knew I wasn't going to walk around a lot. But I'm finding myself that I'm still limping. So I'm like, it's almost like, do I know how to walk? You know, because once you're used to like limping for a while, it's just like your body's getting used to it. It's like you're used to limping. So I'm wondering like when that's going to stop happening. Like when I'm going to actually walk normal, you know? Because once you get used to doing something for a while, it's just like it becomes a habit, right? Out of protection for your body. And that's what I was doing. I was walking on my heel for so long because I was trying to protect my foot from injuring further, from being injured further. And that's what the doctor had recommended me to do as well. So yeah, so that's the update. I have an appointment on Wednesday for another x-ray just to see how it's healing. And then I'm going to ask them, like, how long do I need to wear the boot? Like, what are the expectations of my my healing time? And, like, just to see where I'm at, you know? I'm hoping that they'll say that I don't have to wear the boot anymore, but I don't know. I just don't want to take any chances. I want to be able to just like get this over with because I'm ready to just like move on and get back to life and get back to just doing what I need to do. You know, I don't like being held back by a stupid injured foot. You know, I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's hard to just not be able to do things. You know, it's hard. And I was just reflecting on life just like a couple of days ago, like yesterday, because I really wanted to go shopping. It's just something that I like to do sometimes. I like to look up and down every aisle sometimes. I like to take my time. I like to, you know, just look around. Sometimes I like to do that. But anyways, I was just like, well, I probably shouldn't chance it because I don't want to, well, for one thing, it would have taken me forever to find what I needed because there was just a lot of little things that I wanted to get. So instead of going to the store, I ordered it online and I did the curb pickup. So I did that for like 2 different stores and it was really handy. It was really handy, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Aldi. It was like $8 that I had to pay just for, I don't know, like a fee, and then there was another $1.99 fee. So I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I'm like, well, I don't know. So I'm believing that that's the last time I'm gonna have to do that. And then I ordered a Walmart pickup too as well, and it was like very close in time, or they were close together, so I didn't have to like wait at all, really, hardly at all. So it was nice. So, anyways, I was just reflecting on just like how much more thankful I am as a person too since this has happened. I feel like I've become a more thankful person. And sometimes when you go through hard things, it's just like you learn to appreciate things more. You become like a more thankful person. You know, when you can't do something, you're not able to do something. And then once you finally get to do those things, then it's just like you appreciate it so much more, you know? So this is just kind of my thoughts. You know, when you're sick, it's just like you wouldn't wish that on anyone, right? You wouldn't wish that on anyone. And when you're better, when you feel healthy, it's just like, oh, thank you, Lord. And it just makes you appreciate being healthy when you are healthy, you know? So I guess I've just learned a lot through my accidents of me tripping over my gate, of just how important it is to remove distractions, because it just takes a distraction and then it's just like your life is messed up. It just takes one wrong move and then your life is just chaotic, you know? It takes one wrong move to just like look down on the ground and then you fall, or not you fall, but it's just like if you're driving and you're looking down, you know, or you're distracted, then bam, you hit somebody, or bam, you get into a car accident, or, you know, it's just like life is so fragile. Life can be so fragile, and it's just important to just pay attention to what you're doing and just remove distractions. And it was just a huge wake-up call to me as well. It's just like, the only reason why I had a broken foot was because I was walking down my steps. I wasn't watching where I was going, and I was looking at a phone. Because I was looking at that phone, I wasn't watching where I was going. And then I tripped over a gate, and I fell really, really hard on my foot, and I actually broke it. So sometimes those stupid phones, sometimes these phones are not that great. Sometimes they are a problem. They're a problem, and it's so important to put them down, you know? I really try to talk to my kids about that too sometimes. It's just like, you gotta learn to put your phone down and walk away from it, you know? Walk away from it, go do something else, and don't let it interfere in your relationships. And I even check myself with that too, you know, just when I'm talking to my kids, like making sure I'm like putting my phone down, you know, because I've been guilty of this. I've been guilty of this as a mom. Or just like, I'm talking to them, but then I'm looking at my phone. But that's not really respectful. You know, I should be looking at them instead of at a phone. And just really paying attention, you know. Paying attention and just not letting it bring division, you know. Because it does. Phones do bring division to people. when you look around, you're at restaurants, see people stuck, their faces are in their phone instead of talking to each other. You see pictures of online of just like people on their phones, people laying in bed together, and then you'll see them on their phones, but then they're not connecting. So it's just like a huge wake-up call. The phone distraction was a huge wake-up call to me. It was a huge wake-up call of that. Yeah, it was the problem. And if I wouldn't have been on my phone, I wouldn't have broken my foot. And I wouldn't have gone through all of the pain that I went through. And I wouldn't have had to suffer like I did, because I truly suffered a lot. Especially when I found out that, when I found out that it was broken, that really just broke me. But there were moments where I was by myself. I didn't have any help. And I remember crawling on the ground, just like bawling my eyes out, trying to handle my puppy. And I was just in tears and just like crying. And I called my daughter, and I asked her to come over and help me. And I was in tears. I'm like, will you please help me? I can't do this. I can't do this myself. So, yeah, she came over, and I cried hysterically in her arms. Ugh. I don't like my kids seeing me like that, but I guess by me being authentic with my feelings and just like allowing them to see my feelings, I guess it just shows them how much perseverance that I've gone through, and how much, it takes to just like pick yourself back up and to keep going again, and just to keep trying, and just to not give up, even through the storm that I had and everything. It's just like they have seen me down so many times, but then they kept seeing me get back up again and keep trying again and again and again. And I guess this is part of what's helping them learn as well. It's just like, you don't quit. Just because you go through something hard, you don't quit. And that life isn't always going to be easy, but as long as we're in this together, as long as we lean on each other, as long as we help each other, it's going to be okay. And my kids have really learned how to like step up to the plate. We've all learned to just like help each other out and step up when we're going through something, and like help each other out. And that's just part of why I love my kids so much too, because they have learned, I don't know, that they have really great hearts, all of them, all of my kids do. And they really stepped it up a lot when I was down. And they're like, Mom, what are you doing getting up? What are you doing? Mom, go sit down. I'll get you your food. I'll go do this. I'll go do that. I just like, wow, you're amazing, So it truly matters who you have by your side. It truly matters who you have by your side. So here's the video. I just want to update you on my foot and kind of like things that I kind of went through, what I learned, and I guess, do I regret what happened? I don't know, because it truly taught me a lot. I guess God allowed me to go through it to kind of teach me a lesson too. To don't let your phone be a distraction. And don't and just like focus and pay attention to what you're doing. So I guess I learned a lot. So I guess no, I don't regret it. Although it caused me to suffer a lot. It caused me a lot of pain. But I guess I don't regret it because I learned a lot through it. I've learned to appreciate life a lot more, and it's going to be a blessing to just have life go back to the way it was, where mom took the reins and where I could just like do a lot more things, because my kids have really had to step it up a lot, and it made me feel really guilty. And it's almost like I felt like I was a burden to my own children, and I felt bad for them because I don't want to be in that position. But that's just how I was feeling. But it's not true. We're not burdens. Sometimes you just get handed something bad. Sometimes you go through those challenges, and we got to be willing to help each other out and support one another when we're feeling down or when we're going through something, you know. Thanks for being here. See you next time.